Okay, this is the first rod I'm going to put on there. This is basically one of my big offshore meat sticks. I designed it around grouper trolling. It's all going to be, I don't know if you can pick up the color too well due to the lighting in here and my crappy camera, but basically you have blue aluminum hardware with a uni-butt that will basically disattach from the front butt, from the front part of the rod and the blank. That does go back to a gimbal, but I keep a rubber protective piece on there just to keep anything from scratching the gimbal to make it look good. This will fit a 50 wide, 80 wide, any of your big reels. This rod is rated from American Tackle for 80 to 130 pound class. Basically you get up to the foregrip, that's going to be a moose skin type grip, which is not your grandpa's grip. It's kind of firm, kind of hard. Then we come over to my ever popular favorite wrap, which is a tiger wrap, which doesn't seem to be showing up too well on this due to the light discharge. Basically in the sunlight, what you'll get out of it is, there we go, a three-dimensional wrap of designs of blue and a couple other lights on the spectrum. I got blue, black, all mixed in. So basically what you're getting there is the tiger wrap at its finest. It was one of my first tiger wraps actually it was my first tiger wrap I ever did. Basically, as the guides continue over, I'm running a brass framed silicone carbide ring. So instead of a steel frame or aluminum, a lot of people have trouble with, the brass never corrodes, never rusts, never bends. It's pretty tough. It's hardcore stuff. A little bit heavier, but I didn't design this rod for sissy fish. So basically I'm using a blue rainbow undercoating here, which might be a little bit hard to depict and pick out. Blue trim bands, rainbow bands, blah 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 blah. Can't term it right. I've got a bit of a fever. That rod is now going to move up the whole section. I've got a series of guides on here, as you see. Any personal specs you might have. I have a reinforced heavy duty bad mamma jamma tip up at the top. Like I said, normally this is a rod I sell out for $5.50, but right now, due to the fact I'm going through some medical stuff, I'm needing a little bit extra cash. So basically, I'm going to do this one out at $275. If anybody has any offers, I consider it a great stand-up rod. It's excellent for trolling for grouper because you got the smoothness of the line guides without having to have the expensive rollers, and at the same time a good foregrip. You have good storage capability. The whole unit itself is just under 7 foot, 80 to 130 pound class, so it is a meat stick. I did use AFCOAT as far as my epoxy, which I consider to be the best epoxy out there. As you see, I've tried a lot of different epoxies and I got a lot of different glues, and most of them I just threw away. Only thing I use Flex Coat for is like for under my grips. Pro Coat I use for repairs because it's fast, it's quick, but the AFCOAT really never yellows. It's literally the perfect epoxy. So like I said, basically breaking down the whole rod, you got your slick butt in the back, which is a straight butt that comes up to your blue anodization for your grips, and that disattaches right here. The whole rod and ferrule come out to separate. If you wanted to use a different blank for the same reel, boom, we could make that happen. You got a pretty good size foregrip here, oversized in size for comfort, but firm and indestructible. A nice smooth, even coat of epoxy where I glazed the whole rod twice. It's not the lightest rod in the world, but at the same time, it's not made for light fish. This is a power beast. I could definitely consider this a big shark rod, big nasty Goliath grouper rod. Just a flat out lip ripper, man. And like I said, I put a lot of love, a lot of compassion. As you see, there's about a 14-inch tiger wrap here, which definitely took a lot of time. That was my first one I did. I wasn't really good at it. Really the way to do it is to see this rod in the sun and really get a good understanding and perspective for it. So let me know if you wanted to make an offer. Like I said, we could figure we might be able to work something out, and also work out with trades, barters, whatever it takes. But right now I got to get some surgeries done, so give me some money, people. Alright, signing off till you see the next rod.